Welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. We're down here in the timber frame today, and I've done a few changes since the last time I did a video down here. Let me show you guys what we did. I did have my 20-inch grizzly planer sitting right there beside that dust collector. And as you can see, the dust collector's full. I thought there would be a better way of collecting chips out of the planer instead of changing out bags all the time. So I moved the planer over here closer to the molder room, and the reason being I can run the dust extractor, which is right there above the molder, and I can take that one hose that goes on the front of the dust extractor that has a quick connect on it and run it over here to the planer. I also had to put up a little cord to kind of keep the weight off and keep this out of the way of the lumber. I also moved the 16-inch jointer in here as well, because I do the same thing on it when I'm running it. I got the hose coming over right there. So now, instead of changing out bags every few days, I just shoot all the wood chips out the end of the building out there in a pile. When it accumulates to a decent size, I'll take those up to the burn pile or maybe to the garden. Depends on what species I'm fooling with that week. I don't want to take walnut up to the garden because that will kill your vegetables, but pine and stuff I think is okay. I really like this setup, guys, because that was really going to be an aggravation taking out this bag. You know, probably sometimes twice a day, depends on how much material I run through this planer. Now we're going to work on some of this pine. It came out of the kiln a few days ago. This is white pine. It's 4/4, about 5 3/4 on the width. These are 8 foot long. We're going to be making this into shiplap today, and the first part of the process is run them through the grizzly planer and skip plane them down to an even 1 inch. I think they're about 1 1/8 inches on the thickness right now. And one more thing here, I finally got myself a better microphone. It's right there clipped to my suspenders. This is a DJI microphone, and man, it was expensive. It was almost $400. But the other one kept on giving me problems. A lot of you guys let me know down in the comments below when I have audio issues. And it got to be where I just had to fight with that thing every day. So hopefully now we'll have a lot better luck with this audio. And you guys let me know down in the comments below how everything sounded today. And I am blinking today. Somebody asked in the last video why I don't blink when I'm talking to the camera. To be honest with you, I've never noticed that before. I'll try to do better. I've been running some cedar this morning. Crank it up to 1 inch right there. I have a hard time seeing that. Right there, 1 inch. One of the best EDCs you can have in your pocket, friends, is a flashlight. If you're not carrying one, you need to be carrying one. I use this thing all day, every day. All right, so those went through pretty good. This pile right here needs some trimming done before I run it through the planer and get it ready for the molder. Now, when you do something like this, when you're making shiplap, you have to be a lumber grader of sorts and look for different situations on the board that will affect your overall product. And right there is a very large defect. I got 2 large knots right there. There's already a good sized check right there between them. This board needs trimmed down. I need to cut it below this knot, and actually above it is only about 2 feet, so we'll use that for something else. But we'll still get a decent board out of it, but we got to get rid of this knot right here. If I leave these 2 knots in the board and I make one shiplap board out of that, it's going to break eventually right there, probably when we install it. Take this hose off now and hook it to the molder. There we go. So today we're gonna make shiplap with this pine. I got one cutter head already installed right there. Let me move this out of the way. This is what the cutter head looks like. That makes that side profile that creates the shiplap. And these are spacers, and I've already done this off camera. You kind of have to make some test cuts and put different size spacers in here to get the right depth of cut for the thickness of the lumber that you're going to run today. We're going to have a finished thickness today of 3/4 inches. Alright guys, that went pretty good. And I think, yep, he's here. Had some logs just show up. Let's go grab those real fast, get him unloaded, and get back in here and finish up this pine.